So this morning, just being told just that that Tonsilico has a medical issue with the possible tick bite. It's been around for a few days, and it's always helpful for me to just look at my own expectations around how I think something's going to be, and how a morning's going to go, what's going to happen, and that I might like to think that there's a sense of being fairly open to just things being unexpected, but often that's not the case. There's just resistance. And so the first moment I heard about this, well, we don't have a driver, the Anagarkas aren't here, we'd have to ask Andrew to drive his own car, and then it's just okay, this is just how it is. There's really not a problem with unexpected things. And the work that I'm going to be doing this morning is something called routing, and I've done routing before in workshops in Tisarna and here, and have been doing it as part of the deck project. But what I'm going to do this morning is actually something called freehand routing, and I don't have actually any idea how to do it. And I was trying to look it up and understand it, but it's one thing to take a board and go from one end to the other, or just take the borders of a board out, or route the borders, but then to go in the center and along the side, I have no clue. And I've been working with it in my mind just to say, okay, how can I do this? Ajahn is gone, a person who I'd mostly consult with on that, and mostly I hope I return with 8 fingers and 2 thumbs. So we'll see how that goes, but it's just that working with the hope in the mind that something's going to go a particular way, or the expectation. I just find for myself that that's so linked to my own suffering, how something is going to go. I'm going to get such and such done in such and such amount of time. And I can say 100% of the time I'm always wrong. There's always some nuance, something that comes up, and it can never be the way I planned it, or even how I'm thinking about it's going to happen, because that's not how experience, time, just anything in the future really unfolds. And so I think just as I try to encourage this in myself, and often fail, is to expect the unexpected, to really almost examine what is the resistance that comes up when something is different than how I want it or how I thought it would be. And then over time, just the arising and ceasing of that, the kind of sense of seeing that over and over again, it just becomes something that, even though it might be present for myself, there's slight diminishment that can occur. There's a slight suffering that can be diminished over time. And so that old habit of expecting how something's going to be, it doesn't mean that it goes away, but it's the reaction to it that can change. And it's like all this asphalt we've just resealed the road, and just seeing that even though we were told after 24 hours it's fine to drive on it, just seeing that there's, even being told that after 24 hours, after even a couple of days, in the heat of the sun in the late afternoon, the road's getting slightly damaged or whatever. I don't think it's anything too harmful, but But when I was first seeing it, it's just like, why is this happening? And, well, it's just normal. This is just what happens. You know, the causes and conditions are there. There's a fresh oil base put on the road, and in the heat of the sun at the hottest point of the day, and even later because it's absorbed so much heat even into the evening. It's just normal. And so these things, they're just, we can use them as tools just to keep observing, right? There's this dukkha that can arise when we hold on to things as not changing or as needing to fit within our own expectations. And once we are able to work with that continually and just allow this arising of kind of, the suffering to see it clearly and to see that it just passes once we let go, then that's where wisdom can arise, and we just don't hold these problems within our own minds. We just say, that's how it goes. And the reaction, it just diminishes over a very long period of time. And the suffering is just so much less.